Hello and welcome to another Demon 212 PSN review. Today I'm going to be taking a look at Shank 2, which if you've never played it or the first one before, it's basically an action side-scroller, hack and slash. All you do pretty much is kill things, decapitate things, chop people up in a little bit. It's very, very violent and incredibly good. However, the second one, despite everyone that I've spoke to, all the reviewers that I've seen review the game and that, they all say this one's a better game. I personally don't think it's as good a game. Simply because there's no co-op. The first one had a co-op campaign and a single player campaign, and people kicked off because they couldn't play it online because they obviously didn't have any friends to play with in local. I didn't have that problem, thankfully. Played through it, loved the co-op campaign, loved the single player campaign. Wasn't as good as the co-op because the game gets a little stale on your own, but still thoroughly enjoyed the game, loved every minute of it. I think it was one of the best downloads to come out of the year. So here we go with Shank 2. I'm thinking, oi, come on, let's have some more of it. And you get there. It's got a campaign mode like the first one. However, there's only 8 measly chapters and it is single player only. You get your choice of difficulty there. You've then got your survival mode, which is online or offline. However, unless you play it with someone, I doubt you'll spend more than 10 minutes with it. It's boring as sin. And even with someone, it's not great. You quite simply get 3 different stages, that's it, 3. There's no unlockables or anything like that. There's no DLC list on any of these menus here, because there was DLC on the last one, but then no DLC ever actually came out, same as Zombie Apocalypse 1, so there's no way of expanding the 3 maps, and you do the same thing on every map, which I will show off one of the maps and we'll go further into it, but for now, I've mentioned obviously the campaign and survival at the start. The medals aren't your trophies, some of them are but not all of them, so you don't get a ton of trophies, you only get the 12. But the medals are things like execute 100 grenade kills, buy everything in survival mode, kill your first 12 enemies, etc. Your rebel intel, stuff that you can unlock as you go along, which you simply find and it gives you info on militia and your rebels, so your good guys and your bad guys, although militia's obviously the bad guys. I said militia then thing, etc. You know, rewind it back, you'll know exactly why I'm explaining it now. Leaderboards are leaderboards, player stats, how many things you've done and how many ways you've killed people, helping options. You can view your controls but can't change anything. You can put vibration on and change volumes of things, but you can't really do anything else with that. So I'll just jump into the actual game. So, probably the first thing you'll notice is that graphically, the game isn't actually all that great on the cutscenes. It's very fuzzy in places, and when the camera pans and that, it's pretty much a nightmare to actually view anything in clarity, which is a bit of a shame because the first one looked amazing all the way through. This still looks amazing in the gameplay, and when the screen focuses in the cutscenes it looks good, but while the camera's panning, it's honestly like playing a PS1 game, the amount of screen fuzz, or just a Wii game, because there's many of them that do that. Anyway, gameplay wise, pretty much very little's changed. You now get gold nuggets which come out, and in survival mode you can buy items in the shop, obviously why I mentioned the medal, but they've actually done a lot to the combat in making it less fluid and more boring. Stupid as that sounds, they've actually, if anything, downgraded it, because before you'd have all your weapons available to you and touching the D-pad would change them and you could swap in and out in between combos and it was great and it ran nice and smooth and it wasn't boring, and you could get side weapons. Well, you can still get side weapons on this one. There's baseball bats, what he's got there, there's flaming 2x4s, there's meat cleavers, there's even giant spades slash shovels, whatever you want to call them, but you can't change your weapons without hitting pause, going into change loadout. You then get a choice of the things that you've unlocked, and you then get a choice of your different characters as well that you've unlocked. And it really does slow the game down when you're having to do that. When you die, you also get the chance of doing it, so if you realise you took the wrong weapon and you didn't get the chance to pause, to go into your loadout and basically slow the game down, you can just die and do it then before you respawn. It's incredibly annoying and infuriating because it really does feel in a lot of ways that they've actually went backwards with this game rather than forwards. If you enjoyed the first one though, it's definitely well worth getting, and I do still like the game. I'm just a little annoyed, as I say, that some things aren't anywhere near as good as the first one, and sequels are supposed to be about progress, not digression. Anyway then, I'll go on to this survival mode, which I personally find boring as sin. So when you go into it, you can play it, as I say, local or online, and you get a choice of 16 characters that you can unlock. You start with just the basic 2, and I've only unlocked 1 so far, mainly because I don't play it. And basically, each character has their own special loadout and things. So for example, Shank here, I can choose the machete, the chainsaw, and his sledgehammer. I can choose his throwing knives, his guns, or his shotgun. This bird, Karina, I can choose machetes, sorry, swords that just look like machetes with my eyesight. Scythes, ranged weapons are like magnum type thing, and a Uzi. Sunshine, so there you go, it's pretty much similar as the other bird with loadouts. However, the special abilities she gets are different. She gets extra shank damage, extra heavy damage, extra grapple damage. However, her range damage and her health is crap. This person has 10% extra health, as does Shank. So it really is a case of mixing them up and playing around with them and seeing what layouts and what characters you like, what bonuses you like. Trying to find the perfect team, obviously, for co-op and that. And it's the type of thing that you'll actually have more fun sorting that out than you will doing the objective, because this is a survival mode and every single level's got the exact same objective: defend the supply stations from the bombers. It's not a case of you get wave after wave of enemy and you just have to live and you have to go as far as you can. It's a case of bombers come on, not in every wave, which is very weird, because it actually says defend the bombers at the start of every wave, and it also says great teamwork even when playing on your own. Lazy coding, possibly? Either way, the bombers come on and they try to blow these things up. So they stand here, they set the bomb, and if you hit them, they pretty much don't stop until you kick the crap out of them while you're disarming the bomb. If you get even the lightest breeze hit you, then you immediately stop and have to start again. Each level is cluttered with dangers, so for example I can activate fire traps, so if there were a load of enemies conveniently in the bottom left or bottom right corner, which trust me, it doesn't happen that much. It's the type of thing that you'd have to work together to play and try and lure them into there and then activate it. These definitely haven't been designed for single player, despite giving the option of doing them. And as I said, it's just the same thing over and over again on every map, of which there's only 3 of them, so it gets boring incredibly fast. It is way more fun with another person, but at the same time, I think pretty much everyone who's played the first game would have rather had another co-op campaign. I certainly know that my mate would have, because he absolutely adored playing this game. It was the type of thing that he doesn't really like a lot of downloads, but this was a download he liked so much he wouldn't stop playing it. So it's a little annoying that we now can't play the second one in a mode other than this, which if anything just feels kind of like they've ripped off Death Smiles a little bit. If you've never played Death Smiles, it's on the Xbox, it's incredibly good, and I hope I've got the right name. No, I haven't. It's Dishwasher, and then something Death Smiley or something. Death Smiles itself's actually a shoot 'em up. Totally my bad on that one, at least I remembered in time and corrected myself. It's definitely Dishwasher that I was thinking of, not Death Smiles. Either way, I've pretty much ran out of everything I can say about the game. I'll shut up and let you listen to a little bit of the music, which I think, again, is really good, just like the first game. And if you did enjoy the first game, it's definitely, as I say, well worth getting this, because it is still a good game. It's just, I don't know, maybe you want to wait until it goes on sale.
Cover me. Great. Watch your back, here they come. Just slow it down.
The only other thing I can say, I'll hopefully be able to show off here by dying, is that when you're on your own, it's pointless that that comes up as well, because you can't revive yourself. But when you're in co-op, you can revive each other, so that you can end the game. Sorry, it's not an immediate end of the game if one of you dies, and you don't have to particularly sit and wait for the next wave if your mate can get there. So there we go then, I think I have now said everything I can say. So there we go then, that's been the review. I hope you found it helpful. I don't score the games because that's based purely on opinion, so instead I'll leave you to make your own mind up. So thanks for watching, and if you've got any questions about the game that I didn't answer in the vid or that hasn't been answered in the comments, then feel free to ask and I'll help if I can. Also, if you did find it helpful, don't forget to check out my channel because there's plenty more like this up there, and don't forget to subscribe because there'll be plenty more to come as well. So until next time, this has been Demon212, signing off.